you get on there, you can do it right now. If you get on the Bible app and go to the menu section, you can go to a thing that says events. And if you go there, if you have, well, you can either search for our area or maybe it'll find it automatically, but Good Samaritan Church is right there. And on there, you can have all the scripture that we're going through and the sermon notes, and there's a couple links there too. There's a whole, if you do Devos on the Bible app, you can join us in a 30-some day devotion on Beatitudes, so that's all on there too. So just encourage you. It's no big deal. I won't think that you're texting, somebody or whatever. If you were in high school and you were doing this, I would think that you're up to no good. But this is you guys. Whatever. If you have your tablet, you're going to be on the Bible app anyway. You can go ahead and get on the events page and stuff. See, you're on it already. You found it. Good. So good. And I'll do that all month. I don't know if Jeff uses the Bible app, so I just can't. I don't know. Don't know if he's going to go there or not. So one thing we like to do at JHO and RPM is we play a little game called Would You Rather? And I have a little book that we go through. And this is an old book. It was, I don't know how old it is. It's ancient. 95. Oh my goodness. Where were you in 95? But these are pretty cool things. They're just discussion starters. And I just say, hey, turn the person next to you and ask them, would you rather, and then whatever it says in here, and then you get to learn a little bit about the person sitting next to you, maybe something you wouldn't know already. And it's really easy. I just asked for a number between 1 and 460, and then we just pick it randomly, and sometimes they're like, oh, that's cool, and sometimes it's like, do I really want to say that out loud because it's kind of weird? So let's take a couple of them just for fun because that's kind of my theme for the morning. So a number between 1 and 460. 37, I heard that first. Good job. See the youth in the front, they're like, we know how to play this game. We gotta say it quick. Is this your favorite one? No. Oh, okay, you don't know what they are. Okay. Now, just so you know, this is written towards high school and junior hires. So just so you know, last hour I came up with one that was like, oh, okay. All right, so 37 is what you wanted. Okay. So turn to the person next to you and ask them, would you rather be known as a bad kisser or someone with bad breath?
Wow. Neither.
Yeah, that's right.
Here.
And you can't be neither. It's got to be one or the other.
Breath is good with me.
That's how to go, everybody. I get kisses.
It's a lot easier to get rid of bad breath than a bad kiss.
Bad breath, I think. What about this side? Give me a number. 1 to 460. 77. Everybody wants to do under 100. I don't understand. 77. Okay, find another person next to you, maybe someone behind you or in front of you. Ask them, would you rather own a cabin in the mountains or a home on the beach? Beach or mountains?
Mountains with a lake.
Yeah, the lake is necessary.
Yes. Source of water.
I had that conversation with my wife recently. Her parents bought this timeshare where you can go anywhere in the world. They've been going
Okay, so we already have a call off in the middle section, 360.
Big
360. I don't know if we've ever done one of those.
wristband.
Yeah, let's go.
360. Man, it's like
We have notes there.
here. Going through so many pages. Okay, so this is our last one, and then I got some other ones in the talk today. But okay, turn to another person. Would you rather wear a suit with sneakers, and that's for the kids here, those are like tennis shoes, okay? With sneakers, or short pants with colored dress socks? Would you rather wear a suit with tennis shoes or short pants? Short pants.
Yeah. Short pants with dress socks.
No, you can't combine them. It's an either or. Would you rather this or that?
Dress shoes, dress socks, khaki shorts, or yeah. Graduation, see it all the time.
All right. So would you rather? Now, you can make up would you rathers, and some people are really good at it. Like some people, you can make it. They're easy. You can be like, would you rather eat at Taco Bell or eat at Subway? One of those two. That's like, oh, okay, that's easy. But then you could be really bad at making these up, and you can be like, would you rather be happy all your life or fall out of an airplane without a parachute?
Yeah.
And like those ones are like. Duh, I mean, of course I'm going to pick that one, not that one. So, sometimes, our choices are pretty obvious that you're going to pick one and not the other. I better grab this thing because she really is going to pull me. Honestly. So I don't know, maybe we're talking about happy. Our whole series is on happy, the Beatitudes. Yay. And so maybe you could ask yourself, like, when am I most happy? What makes me happy? You know? And did anyone walk into church today happy? You don't have to raise your hand. Okay, some of you did. So I'm assuming that the rest of you who didn't raise your hand, they're like, I don't know if I'm happy or not. So just for those of you who couldn't raise your hand, that you were happy, I got a video it's like 98% effective on making you happy. Okay, it's gonna happen, so just hold on to your seats and let's play because happy dogs are always make you happy. So, okay, here we go. Crank it up.
I think crazy what I'm about to say. Sometimes she's here, you can take away.
So what you feel now is circumstantial happiness. You experience something, now you're happy. So that's good. Just keep that in mind. But Jesus says that he kind of lays out a path towards happiness in these first, actually all the Beatitudes are like that. And you know, sometime this week, read through the Beatitudes. It's all there right in front of you. The version that we're using for this series is the International Children's Bible. So it translates all the blessed bees and all that stuff that you probably see in your Bible as happy, which is a synonym for blessed and being blessed. So like the New Living Translation that we use upstairs says, God blesses those who realize their need for him. And the NIV, which we use in here, says, blessed are the poor in spirit, right? The Message really gets it. I think it really expands on it. And everything in the Message has to take like 10 lines to say like one verse. But it says, you're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there's more of God to rule. Yeah, right? So that's cool. But the key word there is blessed, right? blessed. And so blessed and happy are synonymous. They can kind of go together. So really what it's saying is, blessed are those who realize their need for him. Happy are those who realize their need for him. Happy are those who realize that they're not God. Happy are those who realize that God is all they've got. That's what he's saying. And here's what it all summarizes for us today. It's that a step towards finding happiness is when we understand the big picture of life, that I'm not God, that God is God. I'm not God, God is. Okay, and I realize that no one here is going to say that they're God, okay? Because otherwise, prayer time at Good Sam would be really awkward. Because we'd be like, I'd be standing up here, dear God, and then one of you is like, yeah. Like, I'm going to try to pray. God, please, yeah, okay. No, that'd be really weird, and we'd be like, okay, the person in the back row should probably leave or something. Okay, they probably should come up here for prayer. Okay, because we're not God, right? Of course, you're not going to say, Dave, okay, you're teaching that I'm not God. Well, really, that could be true, but isn't it true that we play God a lot? Right? We pretend to be God. We play God when we try to control other people. We play God when we try to make things right using revenge. We play God when we obsess about our future. We play God when we try to change other people, or when we try to solve our own problems, or when we worry about things that are totally outside of our control. We play God when we get frustrated at other people because they're not following our plan. You're supposed to do this, That's playing God. So let's play Would You Rather real quick. Would you rather pretend that you're God or trust that God is God and you're not? Okay, so is that the Taco Bell versus, Burger King kind of a thing? Or is it for you kind of a falling out of an airplane, would you rather? Because it could go either way. Because I think some of you are like, of course, Dave, I'm going to let God, I'm going to trust God. But really, when you look at your life, you may be living out the pretending part a lot more than you're living out the trusting part, okay? But really, when you choose the pretending part, pretending you're God, you get to rely on your own power. That's what you get. It really comes down to that. You call the shots, you make your own path, it's all you. But when you rely on, and you choose the other option, that you're going to, that you realize that God's God and you're not God, well, you get to rely on that power, God's power, the power that created the universe, the power that in a day sent our world spinning and flung it around the sun, right? And the power that breathed breath into human beings. That's the power you get to tap into when you realize and trust that God is God, and you're not going to pretend that you're God. It's your choice, right? So one more, would you rather? Okay? Would you rather follow, I think in your notes I just have it in quotes. Would you rather follow others that make you feel happy? So I'll explain that. So I put others in quotes, because sometimes we say others and you think, well, Dave means people. But I could totally be people. Would you rather follow people that make you happy? Or would you rather follow other stuff, like dog videos or Facebook? That makes me happy. I gotta do that. Follow what other people say about me. Or sometimes we follow stuff. We follow money, or we follow possessions. Like, when I get X, then I'll be happy. When I get that boat on Baldwin Street and actually get to go fishing in a bass tracker, then I'll be happy. Okay? You could follow that other thing that makes you feel happy. When I win the lottery, then I'll be happy. Okay? Some of you, substances. When I get drunk, I feel happy. Okay? Well, would you rather follow those other things that make you feel happy or make you happy, or would you rather follow Jesus, who promises happiness and fulfillment? Okay? But the reality, we're all like, well, Dave, Jesus promises that, so I want that. But yet our lives reflect this. We want all these other things to make us happy. The reality here is that Jesus wants a following of people who are poor in spirit, who have great spiritual needs. That's what he says in here. People who truly need God. That's who Jesus wants to follow him. Jesus said in Mark chapter 2, he says, Healthy people don't need a doctor. It's the sick who need a doctor. I did not come to invite good people. I came to invite sinners. So in other words, the only people who will ever come to get that happiness and the blessing that Jesus has and he has to offer in the Beatitudes are the sick people. The people who know that they are spiritually and morally bankrupt. That's who he's talking about. What does that look like? Well, people who are spiritually needy and morally crippled are those who have a sense that they are powerless to fix themselves. Okay? People who have a sense that they are helpless before God. People who have a sense that they are morally just unclean before God. People who have a sense of being just personally unworthy before God. People who have a sense that if there's to be any life or any joy or any usefulness, it will have to be all of God. Okay? It's having a sense of those things. You know, anyone, whether they have a sense of it or not, everyone's powerless and unclean and unworthy before God. Okay? But not everyone's happy. Okay? It's the people who, what Jesus said, blessed are the poor in spirit. It doesn't mean everybody. He means those who feel it. Okay? That's why the next beatitude is so crucial. That's why it's back to back. The next one says, those who are sad are now happy. God will comfort them. In the NIV it says, blessed are those who mourn. So he's saying, blessed are the poor in spirit who mourn. Okay? Blessed are those who are spiritually needy who are sad because of their spiritual need. Okay? That's the real thing that he's talking about. You know, Jesus wants people who aren't going to try to hide their brokenness and hide who they really are inside under this cloak of, I'm going to pretend that I'm God and I'll fix myself. I'll make it all right. I'll do it myself. He says, blessed and happy are those who are honest about who they really are before a God who loves them. Yeah, right? So I want to check in. I have one more story, but I want to check in on my kids, because our kids are next door. This might not even work. Okay, this is the adult service calling. How are you guys doing over there? I love this. Maybe it's not even picking up anything. Hello, Deb, are you there? Someone better buy me a new set of these for next week. Is it on? Thanks. Yeah, thanks, everybody. Appreciate that. All right, well. It's on, everybody. Well, we'll just hope that they'll come over here. All right. It's not even working. It's not working. They'll come over eventually. So what did I just say? We're not going to hide our brokenness. We're not going to hide who we really are. We're going to be honest with God. So a couple of years ago, we as in the youth ministry, we got this really cool game called 9 Square in the Air. Yeah, and it was, I don't know, it was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Mark Duffy built it for us. It was pretty cool. So 9 Square in the Air, if you haven't played it, it's like 4 Square they used to play when you were a little kid on the playground. You guys remember that? Yeah, okay. So it's like that, and you know, when you were a kid and played 4 Square, you had like this bouncy ball, and you're like, so we play with this big princess ball. Like we have a big princess ball. That was just like those big inflatables you get at Walmart. You have to pull it through like the elastic thing, like that. You're like, oh, yeah, it's like 24-inch massive ball. And it's all made out of PVC, and instead of 4 squares, we have 9, and it's inverted, like it's up in the air, like 7 feet in the air, 6 feet in the air, real high, and you play 9 people at a time, and the middle one is the king square, and just like in 4 square, the king square. And so if you get in the middle, you're just like, oh, you like pretend you're God. Oh, I'm in the king square. You get to serve, and everyone tries to get you out and everything. It's a lot of fun. So we were, it's our very first time with it, and I think I was about ready to go on a major vacation for the summer or sabbatical or something. And we set it up way out here in the old chicken coop. You guys remember, like, when you older folks like me who've been around a long time, we were out there in the chicken coop area, and we had it set up, and I was in the King Square. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. At least I remember it was in the King Square. It was a couple years ago. Might be stretching just a little bit. But anyway, so I remember I was in the middle and I was talking smack to everybody like I normally do, and like, oh, you guys are going down, I'm the king, you're never gonna take me out, I'm gonna totally win this whole night, you're never gonna take me out. And I went up to like spike the ball into somebody's face, like probably some football player or something, you know. Boom, princess ball in the nose. And I went up and I came down and my foot landed in a gopher hole. And it just, I heard this pop. And I was down just like that. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you, but it's just like, I don't know why this little tiny joint in your foot can cause so much pain. And oh good, the kids are here, come on in guys. Yeah, it just caused so much pain. I'm telling a story about when I sprained my ankle really bad. That's just a little bit of it, so just so you know. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. I was like, the waterworks were going. I wasn't crying. It just something happened, like up here. And it happened, like, what's happening? But anyway, I was so much pain, and I realized that it was at the very beginning of the night of RPM, and I'm like, we just did a game, and I am totally wounded. Like I'm wounded. I won't be able to make it up the stairs by myself, let alone lead worship, or like I don't even know about giving a talk at the end of the night. So. Like I had to have some of the students and leaders like carry me up the stairs, and then I was up there sitting in a chair with my foot elevated with ice on it, and I'm like, oh, and the students took over the worship, which was fine, it was great. They do a better job than me anyway. And I think my talk went a little bit shorter that night, because I'm like up here like this. But seriously, I was like, I couldn't put any pressure on my foot. It was so bad. It was hurt so bad. But I tell you that story because I think all of us are hobbling around spiritually. We're all broken. I just happened to wreck my ankle, but we're all broken spiritually. And I think a lot of Christians, like they're in a lot of pain. And since they're in the mindset that they're going to pretend they're God, they're going to do it all themselves, they just kind of walk through life. I'm okay. No, don't help me. I'm going to do it myself. It's okay. You know, and I'm fine. Everything's fine, right? And we try to get through life like that, limping around, and hopefully no one notices that I'm hurt, you know? But here's what Jesus really, truly offers us. What's this? The kids know. Kids, have you ever been on a crutches before? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Josh has. So, yeah, like, Jesus offers us a crutch. Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, like people would be like, oh, religion is just a crutch. Like, yeah, it is. Totally is. Because we don't notice crutches around. No one ever realizes that they need a crutch unless they busted their ankle, right? Or a leg, or they're hurt, right? You don't need a crutch unless you're broken, right? Say yes. Yes, okay, thank you. You don't go out, you don't go to Old Navy and be like, let's see, what color crutch should I get for my fashion today? I need a blue crutch that could like hang out. Hey, I'm not hurt. No, it's a fashion statement, right? That's not how it works. No, we go to a crutch because we're broken and hurt. And that's what Jesus wants for us. He wants us to go to him and be that in pain in front of him so he can help us. Okay? So do you need God, or are you still pretending to be God in your life? Do you need the crutch, or are you just going to hobble through life? I'm good. I'm going to keep this up here so you remember the first Beatitude. We'll probably keep it up there all week, all summer. How about that? I'm limping, and I don't even know why. It's all mental. So Jesus says, those people who know they have great spiritual need are happy. Those who are sad are now happy. That's what he's talking about. So we have our kids with us again. Yay. So we've never done this before. So someone want to come up and explain what you guys did over next door? You want to come? Well, you were in the spotlight already. Skyla, do you want to come up and share? Come on up, Skyla. This is my friend Skyla. And what grade are you in? You're going into 4th grade. Awesome. So tell me about what you guys did.
We watched a movie, and after the movie, we made.
Oh, tell me about this. What is this about?
I go to God when I go to Jesus and
Go to Jesus in hard times. All right, very good. And did you guys have a story or something, like a Bible story that you talked about? I think you did. There was a video about it. Do you remember what it was about? A Roman soldier. And what happened with the Roman soldier? He sounds pretty important. Did he fix all his problems? Okay. All right, cool. So the Roman soldier had a slave, probably a pretty important person, had a good relationship with that person, right? Because otherwise he'd be like, oh, whatever, I can get another slave, whatever. But he was hurt, and so did he try to fix his problems by himself? What did he do? He went to Jesus. Perfect. So you guys took this beatitude and you kind of look at it a different way. That we need to go, when we go into hard times, we need to go to Jesus first, right? Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks. So let's reciprocate, because the kids were in here. Does anybody want to share something that, I'm like, should I do this? Someone want to share something that you got out of the service today with the kids? Like, okay, long pants and tennis shoes. We have no idea what that means. We have inside jokes now. Oh, we're all friends. The cats can surf. So just so you guys know, I showed them the happy dogs in the ocean video. Yeah, there you go. Really, you guys didn't learn anything? Thank you. Okay.
Amen.
Good. Thank you. Anybody else want to share anything? All right, cool. Well, thanks. Oh, yeah, one more.
You said that we can say, but it's really easy to say, well, of course I want to do the trust in her, I want to God, I want to trust. But in our everyday life, we have to really work to make that true. Because we do play God all the time, we do it all the time. We're not really
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, very good. All right. Well, the adults are really wanting to share. So, one more.
You were on the first video, you were saying that you weren't hurt, but we could all see that you were.
Yeah. Awesome. Did you have something you wanted to share from what you guys got? We do long songs. Awesome. Hey, the kids are honest. Well, hey, as we're wrapping up, why don't we bring, you guys want to do a closing song? Yeah, all right. Let's do a really long closing song, really long one. So, Aaron, you want to do that kid song, or do you have to pick up? So, yeah, they're going to do the kid song. And the kid song has motions. The kids know motions, right? All do it, too. So why don't you guys stand together, and we're going to close our time in worship. All right.
Also, what are you going to do? Did you lock your car? Did you lock your car?
That's very interesting.
nothing but heard it through the grapevine.
Right.
No dancing in this town. There will be no dancing in this town. Well, the boy says they don't want to. They want to invite a friend over. I said I don't want to. I want to visit my parents for a little bit. I want to show my dad that fella again. You need to watch Brody shoot it in the backyard. Are we done?
Done.